All right. Today is September 8th, 2020. It is currently 6:57, a little bit earlier than last week, but nonetheless, here we are. This is Tuesdays with Audie, and I'm your host, Audie. Yep, that's me. So after last week, in terms of the video and what was said, I looked over it, and I saw some good things and I saw some bad things. I saw a lot of bad things. Nonetheless, I think in terms of the walking and having that constant movement in terms of the camera bouncing up and down, but I think that's kind of distracting. Nonetheless, let's see if we can actually have a better showing in terms of sitting down. So yes, at the end of the video, I said that we were going to talk about my old friend Ego. I mean, we're still best friends, but nonetheless, here we are. So ego, we all have experienced some form of egotism, whether it's close to being overconfident or being narcissistic, or any of those words that come in regards to tying your self-worth in regards to what it is that you believe your self-worth is and how much you feel as though you are needed in a situation or outcome. So we all have been there. I don't care who you are, whether you think you're the most humblest person in the world, whether you think that you are the best, religious follower, the best Christ follower, whatever it is, spiritual person, you think you're in some form of search for enlightenment. We all have been there in terms of being a whole lot or little egotistical about our self-worth at the end of the day. Not saying that we don't necessarily have to put value on ourselves. Nonetheless, that small thing that we put so much emphasis on in terms of thinking that, I remember the song by Beyonce, I got a huge ego. That was very, outstanding in regards to how she put it and saying it and singing the song about it, because I think we all have a huge ego, and it's that huge ego that we have that limits us from, living or being that person that we can be in terms of knowing how to conduct ourselves, being in tune with ourselves, and also, it's kind of knowing when to kind of be a little bit less selfish, but be a little bit more selfless in regards to what it is that we're doing and the people that we are around. So, pretty much, that's pretty much what ego is. Nonetheless, this is what it's about. So, in regards to this aspect of what ego is, I had this little theory in terms of, it's a theory. I think theories change every so often, which is a great thing, because there is no way anybody are gonna know something that remains a fact for eternity. There are laws that tend to be laws, and we live by them, but nonetheless, in terms of theories tend to change every so often. But my theory on social media is in regards to it's a way to kind of play on our ego, and that's what I feel about it. Before people all jump down my throat, and I know I'm pretty much doing the same thing in terms of expressing my ego in regards to making these videos and posting them on YouTube, and this is the form of it that I kind of enjoy, but also find it kind of heartbreaking in regards to what it is that people tend to use it for. So the theory is this: once upon a time, no one's the story start once upon a time. It's supposed to be a long one, and they're gonna end with a happily ever after, but not this one. So once upon a time, when it came to you feeling as though you got the recognition that you needed, it was either the form that you knew that you was gonna get access to the majority of viewers by either being on the radio, being on television, or making it on the newspaper. That was the only way for you to actually show or let someone know that you were somewhat famous or well known by your face or your name appearing on those three major forms of media. But now, take social media now, and we don't take social media and add it to that equation. Now it's like, even though if you get your name on those particular three forms of media, it still looks good. But what social media has done for us is that it put it in our hands for us to kind of add that value to ourselves on a daily basis. It's like, no matter what thought you have about a particular topic, even though myself, I'm not an expert in any of these topics I'm speaking about, you can go on your social media feed. That's why it's called a news feed, because you can spread the news to people and kind of, project what it is that you are thinking about in regards to that topic. So whether it's a birthday that you want everybody to know about, usually you used to get, if you had your, where I'm from in the Bahamas, if you had a birthday and you saw someone actually give you a shout out on the heard someone give you a shout out on the radio, or someone actually posted in the news in terms, I think it was called like a public service announcement that they used to post it and they used to come on the news or the TV, and people just used to view it, and then someone randomly would text you or call you that knew you and say, oh, I saw your picture I saw your information, I was your birthday, I saw it on TV. But now we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have, I don't even know, we got too many things, I can't even keep up. A Snapchat, just to name a few. So whenever we want to put our self-importance in regards to any particular thing or any idea, or we want that attention to ourselves, we just have to go and use those particular platforms and post whatever it is that we want others to see, and they are able to see it, and now we add that self-importance to ourselves. So it's no longer that you have to put so much effort in regards to going to do these things. It's ready to tip your finger. And this is what social media and the app creators have kind of given us in our hands in regards to these particular platforms, so that we can actually boost our ego and kind of be blind to how egotistical we tend to be in regards to ourselves and even what it is our ideas are. Now, I'm not tied to any of these ideas. Anybody can challenge these ideas and tell me how they feel about it, and I welcome it. I welcome the critique, I welcome the feedback, I welcome everything in terms of what people have to say about it. But nonetheless, I don't tie myself to these particular ideas that I have. I say them, I enjoy them, I ponder on them, I meditate on them, but at the end of the day, once I say them or I express them, I tell someone about my ideas, that's it. It's like, that's an idea, you can challenge it, and I'm going to feel very content in regards to what you have to say, because at the end of the day, you're only going to help me learn about something if you come from a place in terms of showing me where it is I was wrong with your particular background. If you come and tell me I'm wrong, it's like, okay, I'm wrong, but how I'm wrong? But like, yeah, no, you're just wrong. But then it's like, and me in terms of me being egotistical, I'm just want to know in terms of, okay, well, how is it that I'm wrong? But it's like, if you're just attacking my ideas or my views just because you think that I'm wrong but don't have any particular perspective or any point to add to it, then what's the point of you telling me I'm wrong? I mean, you could have a point, but it's like, if you can't express those ideas, then what's the point? So that is what it is in regards to that theory that I have. And in terms of what we experience on a daily basis in regards to ourselves, how do we do that? When I mentioned last week in regards to spending time with yourself, the one thing I realized in terms of what this ego aspect can do, I think we all, in terms of our daily lives and social media and this age, I won't say an age, but this trend of self-love, I think in terms of it being so overrated and overwhelmed, is that in terms of self-love, I tried to do something, I think it was about 2 years ago, where if anybody want to try this, go ahead and do this. Just sit down in front of a mirror. Don't look for anything that you are looking for. Just sit down in the mirror and just look at yourself and try to kind of notice yourself in the mirror. And then and then eventually go closer to the mirror, stand like maybe about 2 feet or 3 feet apart from the mirror, and just notice. And then move a little bit closer, move 2 feet, and notice some more. And the closer you get, then go closer to the mirror, and until you actually can only see your face. And then just stare at yourself for about 30 seconds into your eyes. I think in terms of us staring into other people's eyes, we find that so, I don't even know, it's so romantic and stuff. But have you ever took the time to actually stare into your own eyes? People say the eyes are the passageway to the soul, but have you ever looked into your soul? And the craziest thing is that when I did that, is that I looked at myself and I saw myself in a way that I'd never actually saw myself before. It was like, who is this person? It's like, I don't even know you. I don't think everybody's gonna have that same particular aspect and that realization, but nonetheless, taking the time to actually acknowledge and witness yourself as you are, in terms of you looking at yourself in terms of someone you are looking for the first time, which is pretty much what we may end up doing in the first place, but it's a whole different experience in regards to you looking at yourself in that particular way. And just as you look at yourself, just simply say, I love you, and just say it to yourself. And then say it about 3 or 4 times, and I guarantee you by the time you say it on the 5th time, it's gonna feel weird. The first time it's gonna feel like the hardest thing for you to do, and by the 3rd time you do it, it's gonna feel as the weirdest thing ever. But in terms of this aspect of saying that we love ourselves and self-love and taking care of ourselves, I think us taking the time to look ourselves in the face in the front of a mirror to tell ourselves that we love ourselves is the most important form of self-love that you can ever give yourself. So yeah, that was it. That it just goes a little bit into looking at your ego, and kind of looking past that idea in terms of who you are, in terms of what people you expect people to be, but just being true to yourself and looking at yourself for what you really are. And it's difficult. It's not easy, and some most of the time we take these things for granted in terms of how it is we approach these situations. But at the end of the day, you only have you and yourself when everything else is gone. So just take the moment to just acknowledge yourself and tell yourself how much you love yourself. And with that, brings us to the another end of Tuesdays with Audie. And for everybody that took the time to view the first video, I just want to send my gratitude and my appreciation to everybody that subscribe, message, comment, reached out to me and give me some topics in regards to what to talk about. And the topic next week, I don't know what it's gonna be, but nonetheless, I think in regards to me always being true and honest in regards to how I express myself and being comfortable in regards to having these monologues that I've been doing, like the topic can start off in one place and just run off somewhere else. But until the next one, this is live and direct, no edits. Tuesdays with Audie, and I'm your host Audie. Until next time, deuces, I'm outie. Peace.